Hello there, welcome back to a brand new video. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day. Remember, like, sub, comment, thanks. So, on the second part of getting you into Sonic lore, what makes Sonic lore so much fun is that Sonic is never actually looking for the lore. Sonic is one of the few adventurers who are actually a tourist. What do I mean by a tourist? So, a tourist is a person who doesn't actually care about the cultures that he's visiting, but he visits those places anyway. And what I mean by that is the simple idea that Sonic does not care about the histories of the cultures unless the history of that culture is relevant to the thing that he cares about. Tails in his modern form exists to explain things that Sonic would not be able to due to his personality. That is one of the few things that Sonic has a major lack of that you could focus on, and you can make that a core part of his character. That Sonic, although he's smart, is not actually a character who's going to spend very much time looking into the things. He just wants to do things and get out. Sonic Unleashed is a very, very big example. All the information that Sonic knows about Sonic Unleashed is directly told to him by Tails, Professor Pickle, or Chip, when he could have definitely figured out almost all of that information by himself. Now, the thing that you have to remember is that Sonic lives in the present, and Sonic living in the present means that he's kind of a sociopath. Now, you may say, yeah, he cares about his friends. He cares about a lot, okay? Sonic cares about a lot, but he's definitely a sociopath because he never takes the time to think about history at all. Lore-wise, Sonic is one of the greatest main characters in history. He will see something cool, beautiful, or something he's never seen before, and he'll react to it. But Tails and Knuckles are the people who will actually explain to the audience what a thing is. Tails will make a translator in order to make sure the Wisp can actually communicate to the audience, when you can actually just, have Sonic infer what they're saying and just look around the place and just run towards that direction if they point that way. Or you can have Knuckles read off runes and make sure that you understand the history of a current event, like, I don't know, something from Sonic 3 or something from Sonic Adventure where chaos is, and make you understand what the meaning of the runes are. But Sonic doesn't do that. He will comment on things, he will make you look at things, and obviously we have a main narrative going on usually, so that main narrative is going to fill in a lot of the blanks with the visuals and all that different stuff, so you don't always need Sonic to explain everything for you in order to get actual information to the audience. Unlike a game such as FNAF, where you don't get any visuals about what's going on for real, and all you get is clues and other stuff like that. In Sonic, there are clear guidelines where the lore can actually go. Those clear guidelines aren't broad, they are very specific, so there are only a limited amount of theories that you can actually have in Sonic without it going completely off the rails, but you can almost connect every part of Sonic lore to another piece of Sonic lore until a writer cuts off that connection. The biggest proponent of this is a YouTuber known as dual process theory. The biggest theory that they are pushing is the idea that one of the subsections of the Ancients turned into the Black Arms, and while I think that's very cool, I don't personally believe in that. But you should really check that theory out and see if you believe in that, and maybe you can come back to this video and attempt to convince me. My favorite theory from back in the day is that Shadow the Hedgehog is based off the Master Emerald mural, and while that can be true, now that Sonic Frontiers is out, we actually have more expansions on that theory. The Ancients eventually passed down those emeralds to the Gaians, the Echidnas, and all that other stuff. But a thing that we have to remember about that Angel Island mural is that that creature is entirely blue, and him gaining the Chaos Emeralds seemingly didn't stop him from being blue. But the emeralds, when Super Sonic uses them, turns him completely golden. So it seems to me that either the Echidnas thought Chaos was gonna stop the Master Emerald from getting stolen, which is a crazy thought that the thing that killed them actually was going to save their Master Emerald from being stolen by a giant robot, or two, they thought that the Ancients were still alive somehow and were going to actually save their Master Emerald from the robot. Because even though they could see the future, the other Emerald mural, which is about perfect chaos, was extremely accurate. Okay, the only one that's not accurate to what actually looks like is the one with the Master Emerald. And none of this is explained to you by Sonic. All of this is explained by you looking through the games and going back and seeing what information actually actually sticks with what. It's like a puzzle piece, but when you put the puzzle piece down, actually it's meant to be like multiple puzzles that you're trying to figure out at the same time, which should make it more complicated than anything in any other series, because you have multiple lore pockets that are disconnected from each other that all come together eventually. But the disconnection that they have from each other makes it to where you can have puzzle pieces that are just like straight lines connecting to another puzzle grid. You know, that's how cool it is. So what I mean by the puzzle grid analogy, the ancients are connected to Shadow the Hedgehog through the Black Arm. The reason why he's connected through the Black Arms is because we know that the ancients had the Chaos Emerald on their original planet. Also through the Eggman memos, we know that the Eggman knows that the Black Arms formed after the ancients, but the ancients had the Chaos Emerald, and the Black Arms knew about the Chaos Emeralds before coming to Earth, so they know where the Chaos Emeralds ended up, even though the ancient and the Black Arms, as far as we currently know, only have theories about them being connected. This all works because of the type of protagonist that Sonic is. If Sonic was a actual character arc having character, although he would be a more interesting character, people would care a lot more about his characterization staying consistent than they would be about the lore being the way it is. But with that being said, a lot of Sonic fans have been consistently trained not to care about the world due to inconsistency and problems that have plagued the series since its not foundation, but ever since Sonic 3D Blast, there has been at least a level of inconsistency within the entire franchise. And with that inconsistency comes a lack of care. I can't blame people for not caring when you get to Sonic Unleashed and there's literally a being inside the planet that, one, is never mentioned in Sonic Adventure 2, but when he is mentioned in Sonic Unleashed, they do not bring up any connections to SA2 and how that would have actually affected the world. If we actually take what they used in Sonic Unleashed, where Eggman uses the Chaos Emeralds to open up the planet, would the same thing have happened if they did it in SA2? We have no idea, and they never talk about it. If you liked this video, like, subscribe, comment. That's the only way you can really tell me whether you like a video, other than going into the comments and rating it from 1 to 10 and explaining why you like or dislike this video so I can improve as a content creator. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you later.